How to play PIKO. PIKO is a famous Filipino game that is mostly played by the children in the Philippines. It can be played by 2 to 8 persons. To start, draw a diagram with 8 sections, and each portion represents a number in increasing order. But before playing it, the player should look for a pamato or cue ball that will be used in the game. Each player has their own individual pamato. It can be stone and has to be heavy enough to stay when thrown but flat enough to get the right balance so you can throw it easily to where you want it to land. Before starting the game, the player should do the bato-bato pig. The winner will play first and the loser will play after. The first player have to throw her or his pamato in a box. It is in box 1. The player should skip that box and jump to box number 2 using only one leg and can only land with both feet in each box of numbers 3 and 4 and also on numbers 6 and 7. Upon reaching box number 8, the player will pivot and skip back down to box number 2. Then pick up the pamato in box 1 and jump out of the box. After finishing in box 1, the player will now throw her or his pamato and make sure it lands in box 2. Start with one foot in box 1, skip box 2, and continue up to box 8. Pivot and go back down. Pick up your pamato on box 2, down to box 1 and out of the boxes. If a player didn't throw the pamato on the correct box, or if a player accidentally stepped on the line in the box or landed wrongly, they miss their turn and will have a chance after all the other players have finished their turns. The game will go on until the player reached the goal to reach their pamato at the 8th portion and will now able to build a house for themselves. Player can build house by standing in baseline and throwing their pamato from behind. It should land on one of the boxes and that can be her or his house. The owner of the house can land with both feet in that portion while the opponents are not allowed to step on it. After building house, that player will start again by throwing the pamato in box 1 and then 2 and so on until him or her able to build house again. The player who reached the top first or the player who have the most houses wins. The losers usually receive consequences or punishment from the winner.